else? Yahoo Answers. Good, Luis. You do article writing. Press releases are great. Actually, I haven't done a lot of that, but I know at this point for me in my career, and you can use it at any stage of your career, but PR is going to make the difference. It's like people have to know that you know what you know, and you have to brand yourself and get out there. So press releases, article writing, like Lewis, where do you do? Yeah, it's good for SEO. So where are you posting to your articles? Is it like easyarticles.com, or are you doing a whole bunch of things? Just saying that he's easy in articles, plus there's others. Definitely write articles. Get yourself out there. The written word and videos make you the expert. Okay. prlog.org. I've never heard of that. prlog.org. Let's go look at that super fast. Let's see what Lewis is sharing with us. Press release website. Is that like PR web too? Let's see. prlog.org. Free, oh, this is great. Free press release distribution service. Hey, this is great. Thanks, Lewis. Didn't know about that. There's also, but I think you have to pay for this one. PRWeb, .com. Yeah, PRWeb, online visibility. So here's a couple, there's a lot, there's so many things. Once you get into marketing and promotion, I mean, there's just an endless number of things that you can do. Okay. All right. So, just before we quit, it is, we've almost been going an hour now. We're going to quit at 7. Are there any questions of anyone else who can actually hear me, who's on the line? Okay. This is, one of the other people said, I'm going to the Bruce Norris thing, but here's some questions. This is some general question and answer that wasn't really related to note appraisals per se, but just general questions that I'm going to go ahead and answer with the last 5 minutes if no one else has anything else going on. Okay, she says, when structuring a note, do you focus more on the benefits to the note holder or to the future sellability of the note? Well, I think it really depends on why the person's carrying paper, but if the benefit to the note holder, it is a benefit if they have a note they can sell for the top dollar. So I wasn't exactly sure what she was asking here, but I just wanted to use this as a way to bring up, sometimes people are carrying paper because of capital gains, and if that's their main point, then you have a certain way that you're going to structure it. If someone's using owner financing just to get their price, then you're structuring things in a certain way. You might not necessarily even care too much about the sellability of the note down the road. Now, if they need some liquidity, meaning you know that they're going to want to sell all or part of the note as soon as possible, then we do need to pay a lot of attention to how we structure that note. Now, some people will say the most important thing is deferring capital gains and getting their price. So they don't, even though it kills the value of their note, they'll do, gosh, I was talking to an investor just a few days ago who said, oh, well, we bought this property as a fixer-upper, or REO, and now we've already promised the guy he's going to bring in a down payment, 5 or 10%. You know, that's barely enough. Usually like at least 10%. And they said, now go down to the bank and see what you could get. We know you can't qualify for a loan, but if you could, go see what the rate would be. And it was something like 4.65%. And so they already told him before they called me that they would match that. And I said, well, why are you going to match that? Can he really get the loan? No. Well, then then you should be charging a premium, not only because you're offering a service and taking a risk, but because if you ever think you're going to sell that note, which they had thought they were going to do, you're going to take a massive discount because 4.65 is a long way from 12%. If I need a 12% return, that's a big discount. So the discount gets smaller as the face rate on the note goes up. Let's say to 8 or 9%, which would be more normal. Okay, but then maybe price point will come down because maybe the buyer can't afford that. But you kind of have to go, is it better to get my price and to take a really low percentage rate, or is it better to lower the price a little bit maybe and get a higher percent interest rate? It all depends on what the person is trying to accomplish. Was that someone asking a question or just tucking their kids in at night? Is that you, Ellis? Oh, that's okay. Okay. Next question. Why would someone purchase a non-performing note? Ellis, why would you purchase a non-performing note?
Make money.
Make a lot of money, right? Like, okay, the people in the note business that will pay top dollar for note, and top dollar these days is like 80 cents on the dollar, somewhere around that. Used to be up in the 90, 94, ridiculous, back in the days when the securities market was functioning and we didn't have to be around to suffer the consequences of our actions. But they only want performing paper. They don't want to ever get the property back. They don't want it. So they're going to buy top dollar, but they only going to buy good paper because they never ever want to deal with a foreclosure. Someone who buys a non-performing note buys it hoping they're going to own the property, just like a lot of hard money lenders will loan a certain mentality, loan on a property almost hoping. In fact, they don't care, or they actively hope that someone defaults because they want to own the property for a fraction of its value. Do you have anything to add to that at all, Ellis?
Well, there is our motto is happy. You know, we want to be happy if we get the property back, but we also want to be happy if they pay. So we want to make sure that if they do perform, that it's at a yield that satisfies our rate of return requirement.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Ellis buys a property or a note at such a discount that if that note becomes reperforming at its original terms, or if he modifies it to make it more palatable to the payer, whether he does that or whether he forecloses, he's still making money either way. Did I get it right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it entirely. And a lot of the focus of our business strategy is to actually modify the note to keep them in the house because we like houses that are occupied that continue to pay us, just like a performing note does. But we get a much higher premium because we have to use our creativity to get the note performing again. And we offered it to reduce principal balances, lower payments, a number of things to modify the note in order to make it work for everyone.
Yeah, really great. So I hope everyone could hear that, but if you can't, I'm going to switch super fast to, wait, I can't find the thing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And this is for, I think, who was the gentleman who was speaking? Was it Ellis?
Ellis San Jose, yes.
Yeah. Does it matter where the location of the property is? I mean, if it's a good neighborhood or if it's in a bad neighborhood, do you guys really care where the property's situated when you buy a note?
We care and we adjust the pricing accordingly. If it's a more stable area, we're willing to pay more, obviously, for the note. If it's a very, very tough area, and if we do end up with a property, we have to discount it sufficiently to kind of handle the issues that come along with a property that's in a tougher area.
Okay.
Hey, Ellis, how just I'm gonna bring. Can you guys see this now? I went over to Firefox. Can you guys see it? So this is Ellis's website. So he's doing a nice. I'm sure this is WordPress, isn't it? blog?
Yes, WordPress.
Okay, so simple, clean, really good stuff to hook into. So just check that out.
Thank you, Don.
Yes, you're welcome. How long would you say that? How much work does it take for you? How much investment of hours, man hours, does it take for you to take a non-performing note and make it performing? Just like, do you have an average, like how much work that is?
That's a good question. It's kind of tough to say an average, but I just did one where when we finally got a hold of the owner, it took me about 45 minutes to figure out how we could make it work for both of us.
45 minutes?
Regular term. Yeah, and a lot of times the issue is that he's just lost in institutional hell. Where he's been working with or trying to work with a big bank to get a modification, but nobody can seem to make a decision. Then he gets me on the phone. I say, well, what works for you? And then,
Yeah.
and we cut the deal.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. Then I say, okay, well, that sounds fair to me. So if you're willing to do this, I'd be willing to do that. Does that work for you? And we're done. And we're back to performing again. So
Yeah. Yeah, so it can actually be really quick. And other times, if you have to foreclose, it can kind of take a lot of time and all of that, right?
depending on the state, I mean, it can take 6 months. I really see the foreclosure as a failure. It means that I didn't do the best I could to make a situation where everybody could win. And I'm willing to take the property back. I do factor that into our formula. But
Yeah, but so you're actually buying hoping you don't. Do you think there's a lot of people that buy non-performing hope that just wanting to foreclose, that's it?
yeah, and I always tell them the danger is what if they do perform?
Yeah, exactly.
It's unpredictable. What
Right.
can happen. You don't know for sure what will happen, so you have to be okay with either scenario.
Yeah, gotcha. Good point. Thanks for that insight. Okay, couple other questions on behalf of the lady who couldn't be on the call tonight. She says, is it legal to offer owner financing when the property is not free and clear? Now, I cover this in my book, Seller Financing on Steroids, but in Michigan, it may not be. But I don't know of any other states where there are laws specifically prohibiting wraps and where title companies will actually lose their license for insuring wraps and creative things. A wrap is an AITD or all-inclusive trust deed where you're leaving existing financing in place, you're putting a bigger loan on top of it. It's called a wrap. So there is debate, though. I mean, if you ask 100 attorneys, I don't know, a big percentage of them might say that it's illegal based on Michigan's precedent, but others will say, no, it may be a breach of contract, but it's not illegal. And I fall in the camp with, it's not illegal. The bank's position has not been compromised. Usually it's been strengthened. If they don't get their payments, they still can foreclose and get the property back. Unless interest rates go up really high, there's no motivation for them to call the loan, or their reserve requirements are tight that month. They might be trying to call in all the money that they can. So you can either do a wrap, so it's not illegal, except maybe in Michigan, or you can do the title holding land trust, and depending on the situation is which strategy I would use. There's pros and cons for the wrap, and there's pros and cons for the title holding trust. One reason I like the title holding trust is to protect title from judgments, liens, bankruptcy proceedings, probate, divorce proceedings. A lot of people have not just one property issue going on or one financial issue going on in their lives. They got a whole lot of stuff going on. You got bankruptcies flying around. You got liens. You got judgments. You got IRS coming after people. And if title is still held in their name or in their living trust of their family's name, it can attach to the property. So I just had a guy, that's actually been a month or two ago now, but he says, can you help my clients at all? I feel bad. I did a lease option on a property last year. These people put, I don't know, $10,000 or $15,000 down, and they've been so good, but now I'm in the position where I need to file bankruptcy, and the title's still in my name, and the the bankruptcy trustee's going to rip the property away from me. And I said, well, your only choice is to be honorable and pay them back their option money if they have no way of getting the funds to buy it from the, from the bankruptcy trustee themselves. Okay, but that's where you can go think you're all tight with a lease option, and then some weird stuff can attach to the property because everyone's got, things, I don't want to say falling apart, but let's just say readjusting, things sorting themselves out. The title holding trust can preserve existing financing. It is a defensible position on residential property against the due on sale clause. It can eliminate exposure to foreclosure in states like California. That's really important. I mean, when it can take 6 to 18 months, really, to do a foreclosure, that's a big deal. Now, if you're in Texas, Missouri, or Georgia, where it takes like 2 seconds to foreclose, it's not so big of a problem. In some states, like California, it can preserve the existing tax basis. And the title holding trust is a great way to defer capital gains. It's by itself, without relation to any of the previous benefits, it can be a great alternative to a 1031 exchange without the hassle of all the timing requirements and up leg, down leg, all these things. Okay. So last thing, what publications, websites, newsletters do you refer to on a regular basis? A lot of my information, because I don't get out much. No, I don't know. Ellis, you're great at getting around, and maybe a lot of you are a lot better networkers and getting out there than me. But I have a lot of personal relationships. Like, I don't have a lot that I do or going on, but I pick a few things and I kind of go deep with those. So I get updates from people I've cultivated relationships with over the last 15 years. That give me a lot of kind of what I say, really good insider information on what's going on with the note business, what's going on with owner financing, what's going on with land trusts and different things, SAFE Act, all these kinds of things. Other great things that I want to recommend right now is Creative Real Estate Online, creonline.com. I used to actually write for the Noteworthy newsletter, noteworthyusa.com. They've had some interesting things going on. I'm not currently associated with them, but for a long time they've been a staple in the industry. And then there's another guy, Bill Menicrow, is that how you say his name? He publishes the Paper Source, papersourceonline.com. He's another guy in the note business that has a newsletter that you can sign up for. And then just read stuff, sign up for blogs that you like and things like that. Does anyone have any other thing they'd like to share? And I'm going to get into sharing mode where I can see people's things. Does anyone else have anything they want to share about things they like to tap into for information about notes, owner financing, things like that? Okay, nothing. How many appraisals do you do a month? I don't do a regular amount a month. I probably do I don't really market for it anymore, so this is based on things that I got in motion about 3-4 years ago. I probably do 10 to 12 a year, I would say, and they usually come in clumps because they'll have an estate with a portfolio. So this isn't something that I actually, after doing this class, I think that I should focus on it a little bit more, but because if I did, what if I had kept marketing? And so for every little bit of marketing that I did, I had 8 to 12 appraisals a year. Okay, and that doesn't count once in a while. If I have someone who's a note holder, and I've only done a couple of these actually, usually they just want you to give them a quote. They don't want to pay for an appraisal, which even though I think they should, because a lot of people get taken advantage of, but I usually only charge them a lot less. I charge them maybe $150, $199 in that range, just because the market's not there. The attorneys, they get professional services, cost a little bit more. So yeah, I would say 8 to 12 a year. No, sometimes more. It depends. Like I've had years where I maybe did up to 16 to 20, but like I said, it's a little bit of money, but the main point is positioning yourself as the expert and then setting yourself up for being the first person they think of when there's a note that actually is going to be sold, or if you've cross-pollinated a little bit when an owner financing situation comes up. Okay, this is, hope this has been helpful. I appreciate your contributions in a variety of ways. If you have any questions that come after this, or don't forget that you have the 30 minutes consultation. If you have extra questions right now, you can use that time. Just schedule a time we'll be on the phone together, or if down the road you actually get a note appraisal job in front of you and you want help with it, you can use it for that reason as well. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Again, I really appreciate your participation, and I wish you the very best, and we'll talk soon. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, Todd.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.